right, let's do this. So we have a 50, and 38 game. Okay. So first thing I want to do is check out your composition and see if I can kind of like glean, I guess like a win condition for it. We do see this is a Climb Blitz and Scorch Gorge. So we have a really slow, on the enemy team first, we have a really slow Booyah Bomb, 2 Crabs, Tri-Strike. It seems pretty straightforward. The Booyah Bomb I wouldn't worry about too much. It's typically going to be like the ranged crossfire that Forge Pro has access to. But this assumes that the 2 splashes actually like take fights pretty consistently. In order for you to get value out of, by you I mean the Forge, to get value out of that weapon. The 2 Crabs are the biggest thing I would worry about. So as we go out this game, I'll kind of explain it a little bit more in depth. And then the Tri-Strike is more of a displacement tool, but I think for this map it's not like too big of a threat. It'll mostly get you off of snipe, I guess, like where the pole is on your side when they try to push. Again, not the biggest threat. It's a double splash that's probably the biggest problem here. You instead opt not to run splash at all, or crab, which is potentially a bad thing. You run the T-Tech, which personally I don't really see, again, too much value or utility you're going to get out of the weapon. But the main weapon itself is still solid. I really like the Knot pick. I think it's kind of interesting. It's a lot more of a consistent pick over Forge. They do kind of the same thing. A lot less mobility, and you sacrifice the Booyah Bomb, but Forge Pro isn't really going to get too many Booyah Bombs anyway. Last one is Custom Junior. It's Custom Junior. Like, it's okay defensively. It's actually pretty good defensively. Throwing it behind your snipe. It can get canceled by Tri-Strike, so it gives Tri-Strike a little bit more like inherent value technically against your comp. Generally good around like the left choke. And then the most interesting one that I see here would be Splatana Stamper. So to me, it looks like if you're going to be playing around your comp specifically, I do worry about how you're going to take space when you're in Stamper. So typically you want to play Tenatech as sort of like a K-shot. Very like paint heavy, very support focused, right? If you're just going to go in and frag for kills, or obviously frag for kills. If you're going to go in and frag, you probably want a more like either self-sustainable weapon that doesn't get just bodied by using its Tri-Strike. So, you know, splash or machine. Or you could run like a Gal, for example, to like take control of the chokes, or like, for example, like try to push up. Well, Gal does kind of sometimes struggle to push up, but try to like take the left grates while trying to push into their base. Gal might be a little bit better there personally, in my opinion. And then your junior's really going to struggle to push up, but you can give Wavebreaker from mid through snipe and get pressure off of that if anybody's taking a poor position, like they don't hold high ground. So it's pretty okay. I'm a little skeptical on how your Knot is going to actually push the choke, for one, and how your T-Tech is going to... I'm assuming like they were playing to slay, but just went 10 and 11, right? Right, it's all good. Okay. So first thing I want to look at is your opening. You don't have crab, so I'm really worried about whether or not they pop for or play for early crab. Which it doesn't look like they are. Which in my opinion is a bit of a misplay. See, they're both already in mid with the threat of being engaged on, and they don't even have, they're like halfway to special right now. You guys group. You take one. May's in a good spot here. So May wants to be in a position where they can just swim up with a charge and just beam somebody immediately. So taking a little bit of a more passive position is pretty solid. It's a little dangerous that all three of you just huddle around mid here. You really want to spread out around and around like mid stack, I guess I would call it. I don't know callouts. And basically just paint as much as you can on your side, just in case you do get rushed down. So like like in this position, a single bomb would threaten all three of you at once. So Ebbs does seem to be the one to like want to like take fights directly. Again, all three of you are poking the exact same corner. Or peeking rather, the exact same corner. Lucifer can go for the shark. Playing this a little bit like a carbon. I do like that pick on the unaware player though. That was very good. I think they even wanted to crab, right? So that was a very good proactive play there. Did they have crab? Oh no, they were just okay. That was just bad positioning there. At this point, let's just see what happens. So this drop into so this drop from Lucifer into the 1v3 can get value, right? It can like pull aggro long enough. You could potentially get a trade and pull aggro long enough for like Ebbs to come in and get a pick, right? Or like the torpedo to land enough damage to be lethal. The problem though is that Mr. Leo, the Forge, is playing to like his proper positioning right now. So for example, if the junior wanted to push up or Ebbs wanted to push up, they just get beamed by Leo, who turns right like 30 degrees, right? You can take this fight, but you're also the team that is like trying to push up for space, right? If you play this slowly enough, look how much paint is behind them right now. They don't have a retreat. So if you played for Inkstorm or Torpedo or something like that, and you like zip casted behind them and just like spam damage by their basket, they suddenly are like completely pincered. And a lot of like Splatana play that I've seen is centered around not engaging head on, but centered around doing chip damage from your side and occasionally diving the backline. Well, in this case, I don't really have like a traditional backline, like an E-leader, for example. But even still, you go to the backline to draw aggro, right? So you have the right idea, trying to draw aggro going into this 1v3, technically. But this is something you want to do a lot safer, from a lot safer of a position, and with your special up as well. So like now you should be close to special if you haven't already used it, right? Or you are close. You just got it. In a situation against better players, that would have been a trade at best, right? But it worked out in this case. And they just jumped in for some reason. Okay. Now in this position, you are looking for the ability to take like below snipe, right? So where most of the blue paint is in their base right now, at the bottom side, that's where you want to be as, for example, a knot would be pretty good there, right? So let's see if he does that. Okay, so May instead decides to go for snipe. This is an okay spot, snipe. The problem is that if somebody wants to drop right, you don't have anybody that has enough range to actually like stop that. And you don't get that much value with not by going on to snipe anyway, because a lot of your range ends before you can get to like high ground. So I do kind of like Lucifer's position here. You do have Zipcaster, so at this point you can take it as an opportunity, even if you don't get a kill. You know, for up, Zipcast all the way behind them, and just lob horizontals to try to like deal damage, force somebody to make a mistake, or come back to you as you guys score. Okay, that was a little bit head on, which was kind of the problem. But the idea was there. I do like the idea. Typically, again, it would be zipcast from the far left, for example, like where May was. Have May cover your recall and go all the way up the left side to get behind them. May gives up the left side. So in a situation like this, so this is why holding like bottom. I wish you could see my cursor, but I don't believe you can. But where I was talking about earlier, where I'd like to see May, right? This is why it's so important. So if an enemy team wants to stop you from pushing the objective, they have to dive clam basket, right? And anybody buy clam basket. When you split up your team, if they decide to invest all of their resources in the clam basket, May literally just unloads a fully charged shot into him. And even though your push may die, you get a pick, you get 2 picks. You may even stop the push entirely, like the enemy push entirely, just because of the crossfire between you and the objective. You being May, the knot, and the objective, right? But if you play into this, right, and you go for the last couple clams, May dies with the objective and they just steamroll you, and they don't even have to like stop doing what they want to do because you are literally standing in their path as they run over you. They want to go where you are already, even if you weren't there, basically. Ebbs goes for funny play, doesn't work. So in situations like this, you can't push up as like stamp or anything like that. So you just spam horizontals and play for paint or verticals, whatever works for you to paint safely. Because again, your team's win condition, you don't have any like big playmaker specials or anything like that, right? And your weapons are kind of suboptimal for a map and mode like this. It's pretty decent defensively, but I'll give you that. But even still, you want to play for your big playmaker, which is the space that Zipcaster makes for you. And again, to clarify, it's the space that Zipcaster makes for you when you go behind them and play to stall. Really good. So that dive was a little bit dangerous, but it does force 3 people to back up into your Zipcaster there. And now you just take all of mid. If you guys push it. So when the Zipcaster comes out, that should generally be a cue for Ebbs to play for space. Look for like anybody who's looking backwards and take that as an opportunity to, go for an easy pick like that. Now, I don't expect them to have the same game knowledge that I do in this scenario because I know where everybody is, as opposed to them who they only have their own limited perspective at that point. But generally speaking, that's the play. And the same goes for, I believe, Conroe is the name, the Custom Junior. Same goes for Custom Junior. Throwing a torpedo into a group of 3 people that are distracted by a Zoopcaster is so much damage. It's unreal. So May couldn't get the playoff skirmish. Ebbs dies. And now you're back into your defensive position here. Now they have the Booyah out. What do they... Okay. So... Interesting. I don't really think they knew what to do with that Booyah. Truth be told. So one goes top. Did they go top for Crab? Because if so, that was a really good cancel by you guys. It looks like they did. So, but they got 2 in the process. So it actually did get a lot of value. Generally speaking, that is exactly what you want to do at Crab. They did a pretty good job doing that. I wish the rest of their team actually took advantage of it though. So, for example, if the crab came from right side, they saw it got value. That's when you would actually use your Booyah Bomb to displace the knot and get picks on whoever went left. And that's why their comp, generally speaking, that exact play that I just described is why their comp is better than yours. Because unlike them, you guys don't really have any specials that can play around this map like they can. Good picks here, though. They flubbed it pretty badly by not pushing into the crab. You got that. Nice. Leo just watched their teammate die for like 10 seconds. I'm okay with the Zipcaster. Again, like, this is a fight that May and Condor should be able to take alone. They don't need you there, right? So your job here would be to keep Wug and Turd, I'm sorry, I'm so childish. Turd away from helping the Forge Pro, because the Forge Pro gets dove so easily, right? It's such a slow kill time and hard to land your shots consistently, like all 3 shots at once. So May backing up there was the misplay, in my opinion. And obviously you going for the kill. By you, I mean the Stamper, sorry. First strike gets the 1 in a million kill. Booyah Bomb paints the floor. Crab comes out. This crab is okay because I was able to get in position fast enough. I don't like that it took them 3 specials to even get here, which was very, very unnecessary. Which is good for you guys because that means you have more of an opportunity to push back faster. And they fed their, oh no, they didn't have crab there. Oh, so they used crab as well. I didn't see the second crab. And this is exactly what I mean. So the splash being here, look how it's drawing your aggro away from the clan basket. Regardless of what you do, if you choose to pair against the splash like you are doing right now, awesome that you're pairing. The problem is now the enemy's scoring. If you choose to pair, let's say even one person was by basket, if you choose to pair against Wug, for example, now the other splash dives into you and you're pincered a second time, right? And it's all because they split their players this way. Exactly what happened there. Okay. You get it now, see? And this really just becomes like a cleanup. Unfortunate. Again, Zipcaster is not like necessarily a fighting tool more than it is like a distraction tool. This is very scrappy. There are things to say, but there's not too much. Oh, you don't get the Booyah punish. Do you get the kill? They waste crab. You should be able to kill that, but maybe a trade. Wug flubs it. Gets the kill anyway. This is just very, very scrappy. Just lots of like random 1v1s and people getting caught off guard. Should be building for clam though. Do you not get it? Looks like you do. Oh, you have pity. And nobody's there for pity. There you go. That's pretty decent of a Zipcaster, but you guys aren't ready to push. That's the problem. Really good Zipcaster. I really, really like that Zipcaster. If you look what just happened, you were just zipping around like an idiot. Opened up May to go over Grates, like literally just walk over and get a double kill off of it. Very good. Very good. They got a quad off of your Zipcaster. Okay, dude. Oh my goodness. Oh, you had that. Oh my goodness. That is exactly how you use Zipcaster. That was so good. That was so good. I loved it. Okay, I am going to do just one game for my own sanity because I have so many people to go through right now. But I hope, at least to some extent, that this helps you. If you have any questions, my DMs are always open. So good luck.